Phantom Knights Xyz level 3, rank 3 deck. Standard playing 3 Phantom Knights of Silent Boots. Silent Boots can be special summoned as long as you control a Phantom Knight. That includes the Xyz monsters or the regular monsters, which 3 Phantom Knights of Silent Boots, 3 Phantom Knights of Ancient Cloak, and 2 Phantom Knights of Gloves, Phantom Knights of Boots, Phantom Knights Silent Boots, Phantom Knights Ragged Gloves, and Phantom Knights of Ancient Cloak. 3 standard issue ones. With that cloak, when it's in the graveyard, you can banish it to add a Phantom Knights card to your hand. Trust me, we'll be playing a lot. He can also switch himself to defense mode if he's in attack position to target a dark monster you control and increase it, well, dark monster on the field and increases attack points by 800. It's a good boost. 3 of them lets you get pretty much anything in your deck to your hand, as you will see. He can be Phantom Knights of Silent Boots can be special summoned to the field as long as you control Phantom Knights. So, Phantom Knights of Xyz, Phantom Knights of Breaksword, like Breaksword, which is handy. It allows you to go into your further plays. There's further plays, speaking of which. I will start talking about those. Foolish Burial for all the Phantom Knights attack by banishing it from the graveyard. 3 Kagemuchi Mucha can be special summoned whenever a level 3 is summoned. So it doesn't matter what type it is, it's useful. Weirdly enough, 3 Pet in the Dark Clown, because it's whenever he's sent to the graveyard, so that means you can use him as material, send him to the graveyard, banish him, summon another one. So on and so forth, continuing your plays. It's actually really handy. I've come across him using him from the main deck quite a few times. It's handy. 2 Psychic Trackers. Once I get the other Psychic Tuner monster, I'll probably end up throwing maybe a Synchro monster in the deck. I have one as is, but it's only for the last monster on the list. Psychic Tracker, though, can be special summoned as long as you control level 3. And if he uses Synchro material, that Synchro monster gains 600 attack points permanently. 2 monster-esque Foolish Burials, aka Mathematician. He's not on the ban list, so I only play him with 2, though. It kind of becomes a brick otherwise. Junk Forward. He can be special summoned as long as you control a monster, so he's a one-off, so special summon him. And 1 Debris Dragon, because there's actually a lot of monsters with 500 or less attack in this. If a monster with 500 or lesser attack is in the graveyard, you can normal summon this guy to then special summon that monster, but negate its effects. And it can't be used as a Synchro material except for a dragon, which the only dragon I play in this is this one, since all my other monsters are level 3s. So, a lot of the monsters in the deck are level 3s with 500, 500, 500, 0, 0, 200, which most of the time those will be banished from the graveyard, but if anything, if I get to a pet, it'll always be in the graveyard, at least 1 in the graveyard, because I'll keep my plays going until I get to him. Now, starting with the spells. 2 Foolish Burials, because you can continue plays by sending one of your trap cards, aka the Phantom Knights cards, to the graveyard to banish to summon more Phantom Knights. Save yourself time. 3 Phantom Knights rank up launch. It may break up sometimes, but you can use it to bluff your way out of a situation sometimes. It's surprising how well it works. I've actually done a couple of duels, and I've drawn all 3 of them. And because I play a lot of traps saving my ass, it works. 2 Phantom Knight Spears. Their straight up effect is useful, but if you send them to the graveyard, it can save your monster from being destroyed. So I play 2, at least. 2 allures. Like with if you don't happen to draw any of your monster cards, you can use a lure to send this to the graveyard and save yourself later. It's useful. 1 rank up Astral Force because, well, you'll find out later. I do play the rank up step up setup. Monster Reborn and essentially another Monster Reborn for this deck. Its equip spell loses the monster. The monster loses 1,000 attack points, is banished when it leaves the field, but that's okay. It gives me another material on the field, and if I draw both of these at once and happen to not have a way to continue, I can just bring monsters back in my graveyard to use them to summon. Twin Twister is just 1, and it's a good one. Rhoda reinforces the army, adds a level 4 warrior, which searches 90% of the deck, and Foolish Burial, which completes the 3 Foolish Burials, essentially. Which, in this case, sending any one of these guys to the graveyard gets you a free one on the field. So, Mathematician is essentially a 1-card summoning engine. He can summon a Peton, then Xyz off onto another monster, which is nice. Two Phantom Knights of Fogblades, because they're nice, searchable, and easy to use. And a free negation at that. 2 Phantom Knights of Mistclaws, which allow you to recycle your banished Phantom Knights, so you can continue your plays. 3 Phantom Knights Sword, which are each useful in their own aspect. Increases their attack points by 800, and makes it so it can't be destroyed once every turn. Hold on. Makes it so it cannot be destroyed, and if it would, you can destroy this card instead. And 2 Phantom Knight's Wings. Phantom Knight's Wing is pretty much the same as Phantom Knight's Sword with less attack, and it makes it so it wouldn't be destroyed once this turn, which is nice. The deck runs fairly smooth. I've gotten maybe 1 or 2 breaks every so often, but continuing on to the extra deck, I have Clearwing Synchro Dragon, which is a good negate. I may only be able to not get him out very often, but I do get him out enough to be able to use him for his abilities. Because I draw it pretty often, so. Odd Eyes Rebellion. Oh, actually, I should probably do this in reverse order so you can see where I'm getting my plays from. Two Phantom Knights of Breaksword, because it's a very good engine for the deck. I'm hoping it doesn't get banned here soon, or limited. That would suck. Dante of the Burning Abyss, which can help you cycle your deck into the graveyard so you can get your monster effects, because a lot of banishment from the graveyard. It's useful. Levere, which can cycle out your banished monster, banished level 4s or lower, which the entire deck is level 4 or lower, so it helps. 2 Supreme King Dragon Dark Rebellion. I might reduce this down to 1. I don't know. It runs well, and I can get it out a lot and very often. But I might replace one of them for a second Dark Rebellion. Just because I run the Dark Requiem engine. Which, before I even get to that, Dark Rebellion, Raid Raptor, Rise Falcon. I play a lot of level 3s, and I can rank up using the rank up magic into this. So, it works. I might throw a third rank 3 Dark Monster in here just so I can get to these cards. With Astral Force, I can use it on Constellar Pleiades. That being, I can use Dante to rank up into Pleiades, which means I get free removal off the field. And if they have an extra deck monster, and I happen to have, like, this guy on the field, I can either negate it or return it to the hand and make them waste more materials to get it out. Dark Requiem, standard. He reduces one monster on the field's attack points down to 0, and gains that attack point. So I fought a friend of mine who plays Nordics, and he had 3,800 attack points because he was equipped with the Phantom Knight's sword. So he's got OTK potential, indefinitely. Doom Chimera, because he has a nasty effect. He can attack every monster your opponent controls as long as he has material, and he gains 1,000 attack points for every material. And if he had battled this turn, you can attach another material to him, so he essentially just grows bigger as you play. He only gains his ability to add more materials if he's attacked this turn. He can also target a card in your opponent's graveyard and place it on top of the deck, so he can cycle bad cards that you want them to have in their hand back onto the top of their deck, so they don't draw anything good that next turn, unless they have searchability, but still. For the Astral Magic's second target, I have Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon, because he's a fun one to play. I could use Odd Eyes Raging, but I like Rebellion more. It fits the profile of the deck. Dark, evil monsters. Well, not so much evil, rebellious. And I like him. And finally, for the one last one, Gravity Controller. Just because it's a good Link one. And he's easy to get out. Plus, if I happen to not have a way to continue my plays, and I happen to have this on the field with 2 materials on it, I can send him to the graveyard to summon him, use the materials in my graveyard, and if I have a Fog Blade, I can bring it back, banish one of my revival cards for the Phantom Knights from the graveyard if they happen to be there, summon him back, banish one set of the materials to use to bring this to my hand, and rank him up into pretty much anything in my extra deck. Because I could rank him up into, for example, Supreme King Dragon Darkworm, or Dark Rebellion. Which, Dark Rebellion, if it battles before damage calculation, if this card battles an opponent's monster, you can deattach 1 material until the end of this turn, change the attack of that face-up monster to 0, and if you do, this card gains attack equal to its original attack of that opponent's monster. It has another effect for the Supreme King engine, but I don't have any Supreme Kings in here, other than the 2. Oh, this is pretty good. This is my review on my... This was the review on my Phantom Knights collection. Hopefully, because I have the both of them, I hope this guy gets unbanned. He probably will never will, because he's so easy with this guy, but if you're ever playing for fun, always play this guy in a deck similar to this. If you can summon multiple monsters at once, you can get him out and stop your opponent cold on doing just about anything, because he's unaffected when he has 3 materials, and when he has 5, you can destroy everything your opponent controls. And your opponent can't do anything about it, because he's unaffected. And at 4 materials, your opponent can't normal special summon. He's positively broke. Bamboozling Shadow. If you can get 5 level 3s on the... If you can get this guy in the field and 3 level 3s, he has 6 materials. Essentially becoming an unstoppable boss. Because materials only leave him during your opponent's end phase. Which means they can't do shit. It's a good one. With a couple of friends, I play this particular monster because we don't limit to the ban list. We probably should, but we play for fun, not for tournament style crap. And I'd rather have play to have fun, not to play to someone else's extent. We play to the rules, not the ban list. Alright, this is Odd Eyes Eclipse. Signing off.